Hey guys, welcome to probably the biggest City Skylines 2 trailer, 9 minutes 46 seconds. Developer Insights Episode 12, Epic Scale Sound. Let's see what they got for us. Let's hear some music.
Hi, my name is Anna Syren. I'm a sound designer here at Colossal
She's new.
Order, and today we talk about sound and music.
Let's do it. She's pretty excited. That's good. That's good to see.
I have a teacher who always says it's pointless to talk about sound because sound is something you can only experience. I see sound as a very different kind of experience than seeing things.
Makes sense. The bunnies.
In City Skylines 2, we have expanded many of the audio options to give the players more control over what kind of sounds they want to hear and at which volume level.
Nice. Cool.
And we have also tried to expand what exactly is heard in your city. The city ambience consists of 3 layers depending on your camera height.
Okay.
Then,
like the first game.
on top
Had
of
2
that,
layers,
we
I
have
think,
built
the
different kind of
game.
ambient sounds based on your camera locations, such as if you're above a forest or a busy highway, or if you are having rain and how intense that rain is.
She got the fire tower in the forest. Fits perfectly. That's very peaceful.
On top of that, many building sounds react to simulation conditions such as weather. So cold weather outside the parks might sound different, or will sound different, I guess. Not might. I should know. I made it.
I've lived, I don't actually live in Tampere, but really close by, but my heart belongs to Tampere always. But
Same here.
I've lived here since I was 16 years old, and I did a 1-year stint in Helsinki, and then I came quickly back.
Get to take a look at Finland at the same time. Look at that.
I just love this city. I love the red brick
really tell.
feeling and the old factories.
Oh, it looks
We're now
nice.
here in literally middle of Tampere with the trams
there you
in
go.
the background. And it was actually very nice to be able to enjoy them in the city. They are fairly new. When you had to design things you haven't, like,
cool
don't
design,
have
actually. I
access
guess that's
in
the
real
soccer
life,
team on
it
it?
always
I
gets a
can't
bit
tell.
more complicated. So it
Oh
was
boy,
nice to be able
that
to
bus having some issues
see
there on
and
the
hear
left.
the trams in real life here. And I think they're also pretty fun. I love the little bell. Like, buses don't have that. I take inspiration everywhere around me, and especially since we are dealing with a city builder, so I pay a lot of attention to, like, distance sounds.
What is that building
I
with the
find it
giant
easier
smokestack
to
there?
replicate sounds that
factory?
you hear really close, but it gets a bit more difficult when you're hearing things that are really far
the
away,
shirts.
but you still hear them, like traffic, because, you know, you have an individual car, but when you are standing on a field and look at a highway from, like, a distance, it sounds very different. So that's something I was really inspired by. So I actually took a lot of walks near roads and just listened to how the cars sounded from a distance rather than from, like, really close by.
That's a pretty cool job. Sound design?
And it's very
I'd love
interesting
to do that.
because you need to be able to recognize them as the same source, but it sounds different.
Oh, they can carry stuff. Look at that.
So I like, for example, if you hover over a residential area, it sounds a bit different close by than when you, like, take the bird's eye view and it's mixed with wind and sounds like that.
No, we can actually. That's in the background.
Making audio for City Skylines 2 gave me 2 big challenges: the number of audio sources and the transition between near and far sounds. The game recognizes the distance and number of audio sources.
The hell? Wild
when
animals,
a certain
that's
threshold
new.
is met, the
That's
simulation groups all the individual audio sources together and creates a group audio, which is then played instead of the individual audio sources. And this is to prevent the audio from becoming too cluttered, so you can actually still hear all the relevant and interesting things.
Gotcha. Ah, check out the sounds, very nice. Birds. We can focus on the birds, yeah, wildlife, okay.
That's something that has always interested me in game sounds, is the transition between two locations. So if you are going from indoors to outdoors, how does it sound? How does it make you feel? Like you immediately get a different emotion.
True.
When you switch locations.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
So I just
100%.
had to do that, but in a much larger scale.
You feel different by what you hear, you know?
That was one thing that really I wanted to highlight in City Skylines 2, because when you move from like a busy city center and you pan your camera out over the water or into like a serene forest, how does the soundscape actually like change? Those have always been the things that interest me the most.
The fact that the camera can move fast. Player can move the camera from one position from like a busy city center into like a quiet forest in a really short time. So how do you make it
actually,
like
move your camera
so that
through
the
the
sound
buildings
keeps
and
up
equipment?
and sounds correct?
Wow, nice.
That's something I also had to, with the help of programmers, of course, figure out. There are so many variables and moving parts, so I really had to pay attention that whatever player is focusing to listen on is always like elevated and clear.
Personally, for me, the biggest like, oh wow moment was when we implemented the thunder, like the lightning strike sounds.
Delayed, of course, yeah, makes sense. I guess the closer you get
And they actually have a small delay, so when you see a lightning strike in the distance, the sound actually has to travel for a while before you can hear it.
Awesome. Attention to detail, man. Can it set fire to forests? For sure.
Even though I've like done sound things and implemented sounds before, I don't know why, but it just felt like, wow, that is so cool.
Again, attention to detail, you know. Where's the start?
I'm a problem solver. I like difficult things. I like my games difficult.
Same here.
So I definitely enjoy the challenge, even though it can feel a bit frustrating and headache-inducing. Like I mentioned earlier, I just love the feeling when it sounds just right. It's not something I can like pick apart what makes it right. And I firmly believe that sounds are a big part of like emotions, and that's why it's important for me to feel things when I design sounds. Of course, they are there to portray information, but they are also like carriers of emotions.
That, what is it, like a baseball field?
And I hope that players can feel what I felt when I heard the sounds.
We will. Music is very peaceful.
I really hope that I have managed to uphold the good standards that gamers are keeping everywhere, because I have tremendous respect for players in general.
Wow, well, you'll be the first.
I just don't understand how you do it.
Me neither at times.
Thank you so much for watching. Next week we are talking about photo mode and cinematic camera.
Oh.
Bye!
Oh, she's very excited. That's very good. Cinematic mode and camera. I mean, I know some people will be using that for YouTube guaranteed. You know, the YouTube channels for this game. They're gonna go nuts with that. But yeah, very cool. Again, sound design often, doesn't get the credit it deserves. I feel like a lot of games are famous, or they stir certain feelings inside you because of the music, because of the sounds, and often we don't pay attention, and we don't really appreciate it. But it's good to see they actually place some emphasis on this. I love I love music. I love sounds. I appreciate sounds, and I appreciate this. Thank you for watching. Peace.